need to talk about something I hear over and over again in healthcare. Yeah, it's just the system. And I want to be very clear about what that phrase has become. It's the system has turned into a moral escape hatch. What it often really means is this: harm is recognized, discomfort is acknowledged, but the system makes meaningful challenge costly. This system makes it safer to acknowledge harm than to confront it. Systems do not exist independently of people. People build them, people maintain them, people benefit from them. I will not participate in the normalization of harm. Here's what I've learned watching this up close as a parent. People inside systems are trained to manage risk, not justice, to survive careers, not disrupt norms, to individualize problems instead of collectivizing responsibility. Standing up together would require shared vulnerability, loss of status, institutional pushback, actual accountability. And many people, good people, decide, often unconsciously, I'll acknowledge the problem, but I won't become the friction point. I'm volunteering to be the friction point. Because what happens instead is that the system offloads moral labor downward onto parents, onto patients, onto children. And then people wonder why families burn out, why kids stop trusting their bodies, why people disengage from care altogether. What I tell people all the time is this: you live with your body longer than anybody else ever will. And yet I see people disconnected from their bodies every single day. Not because they're out of touch, but because they did listen and were dismissed. When you listen to your body and you're told it's psychological or nothing or inconvenient, that is medical gaslighting. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for basic accountability, coordination instead of silos, ownership instead of hand-wringing, courage instead of euphemisms. I also want to be clear about something, because this isn't about blaming individual clinicians. I work around medical professions every day. I see them as people, not just roles. And the truth is, this system doesn't take care of its own people either. We start stressing kids out in high school, telling them their entire future depends on performance. Then they move through college carrying enormous pressure, often disconnected from rest, play, and their own bodies. Then they enter medical training, a system that normalizes chronic stress, sleep deprivation, and the suppression of basic human needs. People are trained to override hunger, fatigue, pain, and intuition in order to function. That becomes the baseline. And then we place those same people into clinical practice and ask them to care for others, to listen deeply to patients' bodies, while working inside structures that don't allow time, space, or safety for that kind of listening. This isn't about whether clinicians care. Many of them care deeply. It's about a system that constrains how care can be expressed in practice. That's why saying it's the system isn't enough, because the system is hurting everyone, patients and providers alike. There are places that have built different models of care, which means this isn't inevitable. It shouldn't require learning how to work the system just to receive care that makes sense. I believe systems should act with integrity. While I can't make everyone inside a system do that, I can refuse to internalize abdication. I can protect my children fiercely. I can name the gap clearly. I can choose when to push and when to bypass. We all deserve a system that doesn't require us to abandon our bodies to belong in it.